A very good morning to all the students. This is Veena teacher. I am recording this video on 5th of June. Today is a very special day for each one of us. Today is World Environment Day. The foods that we eat, the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, and the climate that makes our planet habitable all come from nature. For instance, each year marine plants produce more than half of our atmosphere's oxygen, and a mature tree can cleanse our air, absorbing 22 kilos of carbon dioxide, releasing oxygen in exchange. Despite all the benefits that our nature gives us, we still mistreat it. That is why we need to work on this. That is why we need to celebrate the World Environment Day on 5th of June. This year, the theme is biodiversity, a concern that is both urgent and existential because of the recent events, be it bushfires in Brazil, the United States, or the Australia, to the attack of locust in India. And we are also now seeing a global pandemic. So all these things gives us a reason that we should respect the environment, we should celebrate the environment, and we have to take every little step that helps us to keep our environment safe for the future generations. So on this note, children, we'll be starting with our today's module. Now, we are there in the topic taxonomical hierarchies. Now here you can see that I have put a slide in which we are seeing various taxonomical hierarchies. Now above kingdom is the domain. So as we have discussed already, the domains are archaea, eukarya and eukaryotes. After domain is the kingdom. So kingdom we have 5 kingdoms, that is Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. Now beyond that we are having phylum. So each kingdom has several phyla. So the phylum is there next. I have given an example. Phylum Chordata, where animals with notochord or vertebral column are present. Next comes class Mammalia. So Mammalia is an example. So after phylum you have the class. Mammalia is an example for the class. And in Mammalia you have the organisms covered with a hair or fur, and mammary glands are present. After class comes the order. Okay, so for example, when we are discussing about the Homo sapiens, this class Mammalia has various orders, and we belong to the order Primata. So mammals with forward looking eyes and grasping fingers, they belong to the order Primata. Now after order is family. Okay, now these orders are subdivided into families, example being Hominidae, that is primates with relatively flat faces and binocular vision. So after family comes genus. Since I am discussing about the Homo sapiens, the genus is Homo, that is hominids with large brain and upright posture. After genus comes species, that is Homo sapiens, bipedal and higher intelligent organisms. So this is how we have the various taxonomical hierarchies. Now here next let us quickly once again discuss about the binomial nomenclature. This is a system of naming of living organisms which was introduced by Linnaeus in the book Systema Naturae. Okay, now still we are practicing this kind of nomenclature only. Now according to the binomial nomenclature, there are certain rules and regulations which we have to follow when we are naming an organism with a scientific name. The first rule is the genus is always written with a capital letter. The species always starts with a small letter. The handwritten genus and species, they are underlined separately. When we are using a printed text, the font is italics. If the name of the scientist is there, then the name of the scientist is always used after the species. And if at all we know the year of discovery, then after the name of the scientist, we can give the year of discovery. Okay, so genus, species, name of the scientist and year of the discovery. Usually we don't use the name of the scientist and year of the discovery. So what we use is genus and species. Now let us very quickly see the advantages of using the scientific names. Each organism has been given a unique name that is specific to that organism. So the scientific names are very unique. Second is, it eliminates the possibility of using different names of the same organism in different parts of the world. So there is no confusion here. Third one is, the binomial names are universal. They remain same throughout the world. Therefore, there is no ambiguity here. So be it in India, be it in Japan, be it in China, the scientific name of the organism is going to remain the same. The scientific names are easy to remember and they are easy to categorize also. And if at all you have a newly discovered organism, it is easy to identify this newly discovered organism depending upon the name. And last but not the least, very importantly, it conveys very important characteristics of that particular organism. Okay, so when you know that we are talking about a particular organism and you know that we are talking about the particular kind of a genus, then you already remember or you can already recall certain important characteristics of the organisms belonging to that particular genus. Okay, now here in your syllabus it is mentioned that you have to know the common name and scientific name and the outline classification of few organisms. These four are mentioned in your syllabus. So I made a slide with these four. So you can be asked to write about this in your examination paper also. So here the organisms are, you can see here the human being, Chordata, Mammalia, order is Primata, Hominidae, Homo is the genus and species is Sapiens. Similarly, next one is housefly. The phylum is Arthropoda, class is Insecta, order is Diptera, family is Muscidae, genus is Musa and species is Domestica. Coming to the next one, that is mango. The phylum is Angiospermae, the class is Dicotynidae, the order is Saplidae, family is Anacardiaceae, genus is Magnifera, species is Indica. The next one is wheat. Phylum is Angiospermae, class is Monocotylidae, order is Poales, family is Poaceae, genus is Triticum, species is Aestivum. So here you have to understand, you have to remember all these names, the common name as well as the classification of these organisms. So children, I will stop my class here. I am following the book Balaji publication by Dr. S.A. Tripathi. This book is available in the market. You can buy this book. All the syllabus topics are given in a very, very student friendly manner in this book. So you can follow this book. Children, once again, a very happy Environment Day to each one of you. Stay safe, stay happy. God bless you all.